as the girls started to communicate, we always noticed that they would start to talk when we would cook or shop. So again, I wasn't pushing any of this, but one day we were shopping and we were in the grocery store and I bought beets. And, you know, they said, ooh, we don't like beets, but my mom really loved beets, which started this whole conversation that pretty much lasted for hours, where Grace was rambling on and on and on and on and on, and telling us about beets and the meals that they would make on Sundays where everybody in the community would get together, which then started her to talk about her grief in missing her cow. So you hear these stories about her and her cow. The most amazing story that I have is pretty much a supernatural story. And I think I may have shared this before on some of the other vlogs, but I basically, so they started to feel more comfortable talking. Backstory is when we were first deciding to adopt, I was in the middle of my day just sort of praying about the adoption and actually sort of nodding off at the time. And I saw this vision of this very white scene. It felt to me like it was a hospital or something. And I saw these beautiful brown hands handing me several oranges. I couldn't really count at the time. And I interpreted that to be the mother of my future children that I would be adopting. At the time, I didn't know how many children we were adopting. I didn't know who the children were, but it was definitely these oranges. There were these oranges in their hands. So in the hands of this woman who I could not see her face. So what happened was then I asked people, this is during the adoption process, what do the oranges mean, I wonder, you know? And the one woman told me of the story of the perfect orange. It's a book regarding Ethiopia. And I thought, okay, well, maybe that's what it's about. I totally forgot about it. But I did interpret it to mean that I knew in my heart of hearts that the mother of the child, child or children we were adopting was gone, because I felt such a strong connection in this different place that I can't really articulate, but that there was a connection between this mother and myself that I've never met. And so we adopted these three. And then Grace has this really long African name. It's Ejigayu. So she chose and accepted the name Grace as her first name, and Ejigayu is her middle name. So I asked her, a year or so goes by, and I'm in the kitchen. We were just talking about family. I said, so Grace, I said, did your mom ever have a nickname for you? And Ella was there, and Jared was there, but Jared wasn't paying much attention. And actually, Grace goes, oh, Mom. She had a very thick accent at the time. She's like, it's so funny. She called me like, and she pointed to my fruit bowl, and she's like, she called me like that. She goes, like orange, barutakan, it's orange. So her mom, and then Ella piped up and she said, yes, she called me her little orange too. So the nickname for my children was Little Orange, and I had seen this vision prior. And so there were all these amazing things in these conversations that the kids needed to have with me and needed to express of joy in order to work through the grief as well. So I just want to encourage everybody to be patient with your children, and just also see how resilient and amazing it is that the families can come and that these children can be healed from these some really awful situations, too many for me to even mention. And there's so much joy in adopting older kids because of this communication component and because of the past. Some people shy away from adopting older kids because of the past, because they're afraid. They say they bring a lot of baggage with them. Well, just be aware that people are amazing, children are amazing, and that there's a lot that love can conquer. And you know that there's so many amazing things that come with adopting an older child, and this communication component is really amazing. It's amazing. So I'm trying to think of any other stories. Alec does not have any recollection of his family because he was abandoned at 2 days. So his mom, it was his mom, his dad was out of the picture, and she was very sick, so she just took off from the hospital and was never ever seen again. But he has memories, and he says that he'd never ever seen a family come to the orphanage. So the other story, let's see, I think you pretty much heard it all. All right, so I just want to encourage you to just be patient with me, as I really do want to be telling you these stories, because I think they're also helpful, especially if you're considering adopting. But also for those of you who are not adopting, to understand the heart of, I use the word orphan, but basically they're unorphaned. They're no longer orphaned. But that they are amazing people, and they're just like you and I. It's just that they don't have a family, and they don't have kids. And as a little reminder from my last video, we're going to do some amazing things in the year 2013 that are going to engage you to actually help us bring 5 older kids, probably from the age of 10 up to 15 or 16, home to their forever families. And we'll tell you more about that as I start to get organized. But